In 1995, Michael Mann did something that should not have been possible. He put Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same film, at the absolute peak of their powers, and created what many consider the greatest crime movie ever made. The coffee shop scene alone is worth the price of admission. Two men who have spent the entire film hunting each other, finally sitting across a table. And you can feel 30 years of combined screen presence filling every frame. Heat was not just a great film, it was a complete film, a self-contained masterpiece with a beginning, a middle, and an ending that felt definitive. Hollywood has decided that is not good enough. Heat 2 is coming, and nothing about what that requires is simple. To understand what Heat 2 represents, you have to understand the specific era of Hollywood that produced it. Studios are not greenlighting Heat 2 because Michael Mann woke up 30 years later with a story he could not tell any other way. They are greenlighting it because Heat is a title with recognition, a brand with built-in audience, a marquee name that guarantees opening weekend awareness in a market where original scripts are a liability. The novel exists, Mann wrote it. The intention to adapt it is genuine, but the machine surrounding that intention is not motivated by artistic vision. It is motivated by the fact that original crime sagas are a risk, and Heat 2 is a safety net. And here is the specific gamble at the center of all of it. The new film will use aging and de-aging technology to recreate Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in their 1995 forms. And actors like Adam Driver and Leonardo DiCaprio are reportedly being asked to play younger versions of characters the entire world associates with two specific faces at a specific moment in history. That is not a casting challenge. That is an impossible brief. Let's talk about what is actually being asked of the new cast. Adam Driver is one of the best actors working today. His range is extraordinary. His presence is undeniable. Under any other circumstances, casting him in a major Michael Mann crime film would be a straightforward cause for excitement. But Adam Driver in Heat 2 is not being evaluated as Adam Driver. He is being evaluated against the 1995 version of Robert De Niro playing Neil McCauley in the most iconic crime film of the decade. There is no version of that comparison where Driver wins. Not because he is not talented enough, but because the original is not just a performance, it is a cultural monument. It is a memory. It is something millions of people have watched dozens of times and internalized completely. Every choice Driver makes will be measured against a ghost. Every scene will be watched with split-screen comparisons already loading in the back of the audience's mind. Christian Bale is reportedly involved. Bradley Cooper has been linked to the project. Austin Butler, Leonardo DiCaprio. These are extraordinary talents being handed an assignment that the industry has dressed up as an opportunity, but which is structurally designed to invite unfavorable comparison with the most beloved cast in crime film history. And here is the one thing that separates Heat 2 from every other legacy sequel cash grab in the modern era. Michael Mann is directing it. Not a studio hire, not a franchise caretaker, the man who made the original, the man who spent 30 years thinking about these characters, the man who wrote the novel as both a prequel and a sequel because he genuinely believed there was more story to tell. Mann has described wanting to show the experiences that turned these people into who they were in 1995. That is not a sequel pitch. That is the language of a filmmaker who has been living with these characters for 3 decades. He told Vulture he wanted them to not be the people they are in Heat, but to go through the experiences that made them those people. If anyone can honor this material, it is him. The question is whether the machine surrounding him will let him. Heat 2 begins filming in August 2026. Chicago, Los Angeles, Paraguay, Singapore. An expensive film being made at proper scale by the man who made the original. It might be extraordinary. Michael Mann at full creative control on material he has spent 30 years developing is not nothing. But the history of legacy sequels is a graveyard of good intentions and corporate mandates. And Heat, the original, does not need a sequel to be what it already is. The greatest risk of Heat 2 is not that it will be bad, it is that it will exist and make it slightly harder to remember the original as the complete thing it always was.